Greetings to you, my friends. Yeah, we're starting with mentoring masterclass. As I said earlier, our lecture today is on how to become the real man. How to become a real man. This topic is not to give pleasure or support to the feminist ideology of women trying to relegate men to the background. No. We are not contending that women are better or equal to men. No. This topic is not to threaten men who are yet to get employed or are still lagging behind in some areas of their lives while their wives are assisting out. No. This topic is not meant to insult men, to threaten their headship of the family. Rather, this topic is to wake both men and women up to live to their responsibility as a man or as men in all they do. The real man we are talking about in this mentoring masterclass is the man who identifies his purpose in life, defines his responsibility, and meets them. God created us male and female. Being a man, in the perfect sense, has nothing to do with genitals. Being a man is a function of the courage you put into life, responsibilities surmounted, and achievement recorded. A baby boy can grow up to be a man. A baby girl can grow up to be a man. That you have the male genitals does not make you a man. You are a male. Wake up to the realities of the 21st century. Glenn T. Starting in his work, The Universal Qualities of a Man, said, being a man is not so much about anatomy and age. Rather, it is about a particular set of character qualities. When someone is described as not a man, we unmistakably know one thing about this person. He is woefully in some things about his life. He is woefully short on some basic character qualities of masculinity. It has an immediate meaning of a strong rebuke upon the person. Womanhood in this part of the world is less regarded. There are not much expectations of the woman. When a woman fails in an endeavor, much attention is not paid to it. But when a woman rises beyond all expectation and succeeds in areas where even most men struggle to survive, the society has come to praise such women by saying, you are a man. Being a man for the woman is not much about masculinity. It is not about wearing trousers to despise the norms in societies where such things are frowned at. Being a man is not becoming disobedient or disrespectful of the husband. Being a man is not to think women can take over the roles of husband in a marriage. The idea which feminism or women liberation have come to connote by the attitude of most women is not germane to how individual women can be respected as man in our society. You can remain respectful of and obedient to your husband, feminine in future, cooperative and exemplary, and still be a man. My listeners, be you a man or a woman, rather male or female, if you have not succeeded in your field of endeavor, you are not a man. Do not let the tradition of failure become a family pattern in your own home. You can encourage your children, be it a boy or a girl, to become a man. So, what are the qualities that make you a man? What qualities comes up when you say someone is a man? 1. Purpose, responsibility, and achievement. This must be made clear. There must be this clear understanding that when God created man, he created them male and female. God did not create anybody as a man. Becoming a man is a function of purpose discovered, responsibility defined, and achievement recorded. Responsibility defined and achievement recorded. That you have the male genital does not make you a man. Like I said earlier, you are a male. That you have a female genital does not limit you to remain that all the days of your life. You can rise to become a man. Becoming a man is an exclusive club for people who qualifies. You can qualify yourself by discovering your purpose in life, defining your responsibility, and taking a dive to achieve it. What qualities makes you a man? Number 2, purpose. Now, I've said it earlier. What does purpose mean? What is a purpose? What do we mean? The dictionary tells us purpose is the reason something exists, an intended end, aim, or goal. Purpose creates meaning, offers a sense of direction, and helps guide our paths, behavior, and our goals when we apply it to our lives. It is important to state here that purpose is not limited to the male child. After God created the earth, he said, "Be fruitful, multiply, and replenish the earth. Subdue it and have dominion." That command is not for the boy child alone. It's for all of us. Those who think the place of a woman is in the kitchen, or the woman is basically a baby factory, should have a rethink. Courage. What does it take to be a man? Courage. Discovering your purpose and subduing the earth as God commanded require a lot of courage. Courage is the choice and willingness to confront agony, pain, danger, uncertainty, or intimidation. Valor is the courage or bravery, especially in battle. Few men have this quality. No wonder our world is where we are today. Anyone who could leave his comfort zone, break barriers to do battle with injustice is a man. And the world is replete with so many women who have done that. For a woman to become a man, she must be able to break the many barriers or tradition that the world has set for women. She must be able to take on the roles and responsibility hitherto reserved for men and survive. A courageous woman faces a lot of problems, but she weathers the storm without compromising her dignity. Haven't you seen women who lost their husbands so early in lives and still went on to train 6, 7, 8 children? Haven't you seen women who break the glass ceiling and become heads of state in society or countries where the girl child is largely seen as sex objects and baby factory? A woman who possesses the ability to dare what men will run away from is qualified to be called a man. What are the qualities of being a man? Providing and protecting. Traditionally, it is the role of the man to provide and protect the family, including the wife. It is not a big deal when a man does this. Indeed, as an anthropologist, David Gilmour concludes, a man produces more than he and his family consume. That is, that you produce for your family is not big story any longer. The story exists when you provide for people more than your family, more than your wife, more than your children. That is what we call a man. If you are a good man, rise to become a better man. If you are a better man, rise to become the best man. If you are the best man, there is still a position higher than the best, and that is the significant man. That is the real man. If you are only feeding your family, you are just a man. There is nothing interesting in that until you become the significant man who touches lives and shapes destinies of people around them. However, but it is not only uncommon to see weak and irresponsible men shirking in their responsibility, indeed, passing part of their responsibilities to their wives as a matter of duty or not of assistance. It is not the duty of the woman to put food on the table. When the woman takes over the responsibility and remains humble in doing so, when the woman becomes the breadwinner of the family, she has become a man. Do you agree with me? Number 5, what are the qualities of becoming a man? Ability to face challenges. Here, I will cite the example of Obafemi Awolowo. You know, he gave this example in one of his books, My Early Life. He had taken a loan, that was around 1941 or maybe 1939. He had taken a loan from a cooperative to do a certain business. That was in around 1930 rather. However, because of the economy of the World War, the business failed. The business failed that year. You know, the very business he invested the money on. And he could not pay back. The cooperative gave him several dates to pay back, which he couldn't meet. And then they came one day to pack all his belongings. This same Obafemi Awolowo, all his clothes, his shoes, all the appurtenances in the office, and they put them up for auction so that he could pay back. Ordinarily, it was a thing of shame that a business failed and your properties to be auctioned. Awo was never taught to be bold to appear at the auction, but he did. He stood by as people, including his friends, were buying his properties. One of the friends who came to buy accosted him and said, Are these not your properties that are being sold off? Awo said yes. The man asked him, then why are you here? Awo said, to see how my properties are being sold. The man looked at him and I said, you are a man. The lesson in this narrative is that of courage and ability to face challenges. Let the truth be told. Some people would never recover from that experience. They will go ahead to become failures in life. But Obafemi Awolowo rose from these ashes to become a lawyer in 1946, to become the premier of the Western region in 1954, vice chairman, that is the vice president, Federal Executive Council, between 1967 and 1971. That is what we call a man. He was not swept under. He rode on the experience to become a victor. Like Confucius said, our greatest glory is not in never failing, but in rising every time we fall. If a man could be called a man for doing this, how much more a woman? Number 6, what makes you a man? To be fearless. To be fearless. In his post, 12 things every guy should master to become a real man, Atalvin Pilon mentions this fearlessness. According to him, being fearless does not mean you are without fear. It doesn't mean you don't have fears of your own, but admitting your fears and going beyond them. A real man is not in denial of his fears, holding up a mask, to cover his face, but he takes the courage to do things that frightens him when the situation calls for it. A real man knows the path towards the fearlessness is endless. I will cite an example of a woman. I saw this story happened just some few days ago. Let me explain the story to you this way. The boss, who has the power to hire and fire, did something that brought the man out of this lady. she was rightfully excused from her office to attend to her daughter who was sick. A few days later, the boss, who had a sister in the school where the daughter attends, called the school through her sister. And then they brought the 14-year-old girl to the phone. And the boss started shouting on the daughter, "Speak to me. Did your mother come to were you sick? Did you come to school on Monday and Tuesday? Were you sick?" And the daughter was very afraid. The daughter was like, "Please, who is speaking?" The boss was shouting, "I said, speak to me or else I will arrest you." The boss was speaking to a 14-year-old daughter of her staff. And the daughter now confessed that, "Look, yes, I was sick on Monday and Tuesday. I didn't come to school. But my mommy came to check me. In school, my mommy stayed to take care of me." Then they took the phone away. And the daughter was shaking violently. Now the daughter picked the phone and called her mother immediately. That, "Mommy, someone called me. And the person was shouting on me on phone. That, did your mommy come to school? Were you actually sick? This and that." And the mother was very afraid, in this era of kidnapping. That who could have called my daughter in school? That did I attend to her? And things like that. And the matter became an issue. And the lady was very surprised, They didn't even know how to do it. And everybody was surprised with the lady. Until some few days later, the boss called the lady and said, "I called your daughter in school to find out if you actually went there to take care of her." And the lady was like, "So you were the one who called the school of my daughter? Why were you calling my daughter over an issue that has to do with me in the office? And you were threatening my daughter?" The lady stood up. And it became a shouting match. Everybody agreed that boss went beyond her bounds. How could a boss call the child of your staff and say that, "I want to confirm if you were actually sick and your mommy did not come to work," and stuff like that? The lady rose up and told the woman, "I draw the boundary today. You were wrong." And it became a shouting match between them. And the lady went out, packed her things. It led to her resignation from the office. And now the matter is in the court. If I mention the organization, you will all know it. Now, if someone failed to call that boss to order, that boss will continue to threaten the staff in that organization to such an extent that they will be calling your wife, calling your husband to confirm things. What happened in the office is purely that of the office. How could a boss go to that level? But you see, the man in this matter is that lady rose to put the boss where she belongs. That, "No, you've overstepped your boundary." Now the matter is in the court. You see, if we don't learn how to draw the line, many of us will not be able to face error. The best condition for evil to thrive is for good people to be afraid to speak against it. The lady rose and spoke against that. "My boss, you went too far, and I will not take this." She resigned her appointment, and she has taken the matter to court. Very shortly, many of you will be hearing the story in the pages of our newspaper. The best condition for evil to thrive is when men are afraid to speak against it. Fearlessness. If you want to be a man, you must be ready to be fearless. Number 7, resilience. Life has a way of wrestling us down. The virtue of being a man is in rising again. If necessary, start all over again at any given moment. Abraham Lincoln is well regarded as a man because for 35 times he failed in life. But he rose after each fall and succeeded in becoming the President of the United States of America in 1860. No one has the singular honor that is being accorded today. Abraham Lincoln today is being regarded as the most noble president of the United States of America. A real man accepts his fate, but does not become a victim of it. Number 8, how do you become a man? You are without fear of death. In the Bible, 2 people were recorded as saying, if I perish, I perish. Esther and Paul. It was a good thing to find a woman who also said so. A man is not bothered about life, but accomplishment of purpose. Paul was told he would die if he went to Jerusalem. A prophet came to show him how he would be captured and tied. He said, Jerusalem, I must go. The fear of death was immaterial to Paul. Purpose. Esther, to become a queen and save her people, entered into a contest that could cost her her life. She went to see the king at the time the king could ask her to be put to death. At the end of the day, it led to the death of Haman. She was told the implication of it there. A man is not afraid to die. A man is always after his purpose, that I want to accomplish this purpose. And when we do this, these 8 things, you will become a man. I enjoy you, my friend, my listeners. Be you a man or a woman, let us rise to become men in all we want to do. Let us try to encourage our children to become men in all they will be in life. Let us tell them that it is not the life that really matters, but the courage that we put into it. Let us learn from this lecture this afternoon. I believe you have gained something, and I thank you for watching. The Lord be with you. Thank you so much. Until I come your way Saturday, 2 p.m. this week, this same Saturday, with another very important lecture. I remain Bola Adewara. Thank you so much. I see you then.